Hello again, everyone. I'm Dr. George Simon, and welcome to another edition of Character Matters, the program that discusses what I consider to be the defining issue of our time, the character crisis that we have faced for several decades now, and that affects every single aspect of our lives. And today, I'd like to talk about the concepts of personality and character and what constitutes a personality or a character disorder. Some folks use the term personality and character synonymously, but they are actually somewhat different concepts. Character, as I choose to define it, is that moral aspect or socially conscientious aspect of personality. It reflects a person's values and the extent to which, in their day to day affairs, they adhere to values that time has proven are essential to healthy functioning in society. Personality has been defined many different ways over the centuries. Some people equate personality with the set of a person's innate traits. Other folks think of personality as a front, a facade, a mask that people wear, largely unconsciously. In fact, the word persona comes from the Latin meaning mask, because actors in the ancient theater were generally always men, and the art of conveying sentiment and emotion was not well developed at the time. And so people wore masks to denote certain feelings and expressions, sentiments, etc., during their performances as they recited their lines. But a more modern definition of personality has a more multidimensional framework. Innate traits play a role, for sure. Environmental shaping factors, learned experience, etc., plays a role also. But it's more than just nature, and it's more than just nurture. That contributes to the rather habitual, preferred way that a person tends to operate in the world rather consistently and persistently. We call this the person's interactive style, their preferred style. And their innate tendencies play a role, and so do the lessons learned from prior experience. But as I said moments ago, it's more than just nature, and it's more than nurture. And it's more than just a combination of both, because there is a dynamic interaction between these two factors during the entire course of a person's development. So they emerge at some point in life, usually in late adolescence, early adulthood, with a certain self-defined sense of self and a certain preferred way of operating in the world, dealing with others, seeing the world. And we used to define a personality disorder in ways that are problematic in our time. Professionals used to say that if a person's style of relating, their way of being in the world, was too inflexible, was too intense in its manifestation, and was too maladaptive, that is, made it difficult for the person to operate in the world and distressed them as well as others because of their inflexibility in their way of doing things and because of the intensity of their manner. It was thought to be a disorder. There's a problem with that kind of conceptualization in today's world because many personality styles, many ways of being and operating in this world that were once considered horrendously maladaptive actually work, sometimes reinforced, even lauded, so that some of the more egregious and once considered maladaptive personality styles are actually quite adaptive in today's crazy, mixed up social environment. So that begs the question of just how to define a personality or a character disorder. And in all my books, I assert that there is a dimension to this, from mild disturbances of personality and character to true disorders. And I define a disorder simply. It has to do with the ability to form wholesome, loving relationships, truly loving relationships, a way of operating in the world that doesn't just help the individual prosper, but cooperates with the entire world in the prospering of the entire world, the true prospering, and not just materially, and not just for the things that some societies value, but rather for the things that endure, the things that really mean something to human existence. Last time, I spoke of the aggressive personalities, folks who have some innate tendencies, mainly a fierce determination to have what they want, to achieve, to dominate, to win, to control, an inner abhorrence to even the notion of capitulation or surrender, and not tempered by other considerations, as in the case of the assertive personality, who might be just as headstrong, but who also considers the rights and needs and concerns of others, and deliberately chooses to moderate their behavior, to discipline themselves in their aggressive pursuits of things, bringing empathy into the equation, bringing humility into the equation, bringing care and concern for the bigger picture into the equation, tempering their aggressive urges with solid impulse control. So you see, there are many things that make up a person's character. And at one time, we realized the supreme importance of this. And we also seem to appreciate just how much in the way of careful, mindful, principle-based effort it took on the part of every individual, every family, every community, even the society, to help people build and solidify integrity of character. It mattered. And when it stopped mattering so much, a lot started falling apart, creating a tremendously troubling, vicious cycle, whereby more and more character-impaired people began to populate the society, steadily corrupting the institutions and standards and values that help promote good character, and in turn, engendering more and more and more character-impaired people. A situation that has to turn around and can only turn around the same insidious, incremental way that we got to where we are, one heart at a time, beginning with our own. A slow and steady, committed process that can change the world for the better, just as it slowly changed for the worse. Sadly, this challenge is more daunting than it would otherwise be because of how desensitized we have become. All manner of behavior, once thought highly unusual, outrageous, unthinkable, has become so commonplace that we're all too troublingly used to it until it affects us directly and causes us a mound of pain. Then we want answers. I invite you once again to visit the blog at drgeorgesimon.com for all the timely articles on this and all manner of related subjects, and to avail yourself of all of my books readily available on Amazon and in multiple formats. I'm going to be taking a brief break, so there will not be a podcast next week, nor a new blog article, but I will have more information on the change of format coming up the 1st of November of this year, when we will have a regular time set aside for these podcasts that will be simultaneously live streamed as well as recorded. Recorded for easy access at any time, but live streamed at a particular time every week so that you can participate, ask questions, and contribute to the discussion. Once again, thanks for tuning in. Until next time, then, I'm Dr. George Simon. Take care.